3 weeks ago, I gave my parents a spare key to my house, just in case. I never imagined that key would become a weapon. By the third Sunday, they had moved half their furniture into my garage, drilled into the walls, and texted me demanding $8,000. And that's when I realized the people who raised you can be the ones you have to defend yourself from. My name is Tori Barrett. I'm 33, a pediatric ICU nurse in Dayton, Ohio, and the mother of an 8-year-old daughter named Lily. She's brilliant, stubborn, and observes more than anyone suspects. I've spent most of my adult life balancing chaos with precision, sometimes failing, sometimes surviving. 3 weeks ago, I made a decision I thought was harmless. I gave my parents a spare key to my house, a gesture of trust. I never imagined how fast trust could be weaponized. It started subtly. My father, Ray Barrett, has always been meticulous. He keeps mental ledgers for everything. Who owes what, who does what, who fails at what. My mother, Diane, defers to him entirely. My sister, Megan, has always been the golden child, the first slice of every achievement, the first mention in every story. I was the invisible one, the backup, the person who did things quietly, without applause. 3 Sundays after giving the key, I got a text from my neighbor. "Hey, Tori, did you know there's furniture in your garage?" I laughed, assuming it was a joke. I drove home. My stomach sank. Half my garage was occupied. 6 drawers of a red Craftsman tool chest, a mini fridge humming loudly, boxes stacked in corners, furniture pushed against the walls, holes drilled into studs. My parents had invaded my home under the guise of helping. I called my father, calmly. "Dad, you moved into my garage without permission." "It's just anchors, calm down," he said. I snapped photos, dated them, wrote an inventory on a yellow legal pad. 3 pages. They didn't stop. They expected compliance, silence, acceptance. But I had spent years learning that evidence protects you. That's what survival looks like when your own family weaponizes love. A week later, I got a text. $8,000 for Megan's wedding. Venue deposit due Friday. No greeting, no question, just a demand. I sat in the kitchen, counting past contributions. Over 30 months, I had sent $12,000 in transfers, paid off Megan's credit cards, covered medical bills, and managed emergency repairs. $15,500 in value, invisible labor, gone, unacknowledged. And now, this. That night, I spent an hour staring at the ceiling. My apartment smelled faintly of mildew, the washing machine leaking, dishes piled up. Lily asked if we could read her new book. I nodded, tears burning behind my eyes, and read aloud, trying to sound normal. Survival is often quiet, especially when betrayal is so close. The first confrontation happened Sunday. Lily wore her yellow daisy dress, hugging her stuffed rabbit tightly. I drove to my parents' house, 14 minutes, but it felt like crossing a battlefield. Inside, my mother set the table, smiling as if normalcy could erase 3 weeks of intrusion. My father, stone-faced. Megan, smug. Aunt June, quiet, observing. I placed a manila folder on the table. Screenshots, texts, legal notes, photographs. I spoke slowly, each word deliberate. 26 doctor visits coordinated for my parents. 78 hours of driving for errands and appointments. 400 hours of labor over 2 years. $8,000 in value. Not a single acknowledgement. Not a single thank you. Silence fell. My mother's arms opened, pleading. I didn't hug her. I was there to speak truth. I read a text she sent days after my surgery. If Tori wants to play victim, let her. Lily can stay with us when Tori burns out. Every word struck like a physical blow. They were preparing to take my child. Megan blurted, "This is so typical. You make everything about yourself." I remained flat, clinical. I called a nurse at 2:58 a.m. Lily was cared for. Your actions made that impossible. Aunt June quietly held Lily on her lap. Uncle Hank sat stiffly, arms crossed, watching. The silence stretched. My mother's performative tears fell away. What remained was embarrassment, disbelief, and the realization. Years of invisible labor were now quantified, recognized, and safe. But the battle wasn't over. 3 days later, the garage intrusion escalated. My father texted, "We need to inspect the wiring. It's unsafe for Lily." I ignored it. He came the next morning anyway, breaking into the garage while Lily was playing outside. I called the police. Officers arrived, reviewed my documentation, photos, timestamps, video from Ring cameras, the inventory. Civil matter. No charges. Lily watched from the porch, confused. "Mom, are they mad at you?" "Yes, honey," I said, keeping my voice calm. "But we're okay." The next week, my mother sent letters, guilt-laden, accusing me of isolating Lily. My sister Megan whispered threats in family group texts. I documented everything. Evidence became my shield, not my obsession. Weeks later, they escalated legally. Custody threats, falsified CPS reports, coached witnesses. My mother tried to present herself as the worried, loving grandmother, while my sister offered half-truths to manipulate perception. I hired an attorney, Ruth Hart, who taught me how to turn the tables, cross-examine inconsistencies, highlight falsified claims, and show procedural errors. Weeks of preparation. Depositions, records, witness statements, photos, text messages, screen captures. My survival depended on documenting every detail. During the hearing, I noticed subtle social cues. A juror frowning at a text from a relative, My father shifting uncomfortably when confronted with prior timestamps. My sister avoiding eye contact. Even small reactions mattered. Evidence alone wouldn't suffice. The human reactions had to confirm the pattern. The climax occurred mid-hearing. My grandmother's personal logs, handwritten notes of every interaction with my father and sister, were presented. One line read aloud, "Ray mistakes control for love." The courtroom shifted. Not dramatically, not in a movie-like moment, but socially. The subtle power balance, the authority Wade assumed for decades, crumbled in quiet acknowledgement of truth. After the verdict, custody was affirmed. Protective orders issued. My parents were forbidden from interfering with Lily's daily life. Megan avoided contact for months. The house was secure. My child, protected. Lily asked later why her grandparents had tried to take her. I hesitated. Then I told her. Some people get scared when love doesn't go where they expected. Her small hand in mine, her trust unbroken, was a victory far beyond legal paperwork. The story ends not with dramatic confrontation, but quiet stability. Furniture returned to its proper place, locks reinforced, text messages archived, photos preserved, life carefully reclaimed. I realized something essential. Family loyalty is not guaranteed. Sometimes, love can be weaponized, and survival doesn't always come from confrontation or rage. It comes from preparation, documentation, and the courage to enforce boundaries, no matter who is against you.